Everybody else is under 500. So we talked a little bit before we got on the air. A lot of opportunities for the Vikings to make some gains. So they have 5 of their last 7 at home, and only 2 of those are against teams with winning records. So hopefully the Vikings can make some hay and carve out a spot in the CCIW tournament.
Yeah, this is typically the time of the year where we start to talk about the CCIW tournament. As Dan mentioned, the top 6 teams get into the tournament. Right now, the Vikings are tied for 6th place, but would be the odd man out based on records right now. But again, as Dan said, after tonight, the Vikings play 4 of 6 at home, and only one of those teams that they play, that would be Illinois Wesleyan, has a winning record. So Vikings are right there. They just need to take care of business, something they haven't been able to do. Really struggled down at Illinois Wesleyan, a close first half, but Illinois Wesleyan really opened it up in the second half, winning that ball game by 30, Dan. And then the Vikings really played a fairly solid game in Carthage, and down the road, probably the last 3 minutes of the game, maybe less than that, it got away from them.
Had a chance to take the lead with 2 minutes left, and Tyler Knuth, who had put the Vikings on his back in the second half of that game. I think he had 25 in the second half, but missed the front end of a 1-and-1 that had he made both, would have put the Vikings ahead. So, yeah, good effort up at Carthage, but as I've pounded the drum I've pounded so often lately, Vikings just really struggle to put the ball in the basket, and they really didn't get much of anything offensively other than terrific performance by Tyler Knuth, and ended up falling 8 points short in a game that was really closer than that, as we talked about.
Yeah, Knuth ended up with a career high in that game of 30 points. He was, as Dan said,
I'm not sure that's a career high.
It was in the notes tonight.
Not in my notes.
Not in your notes, but it was in Trevor's notes.
Okay. I was thinking he had 32 against Carroll or something a couple years ago, but I could be wrong.
We'll check on that at halftime and get back to you. As we talk about the Vikings tonight, they come in, Tyler Knuth leading the Vikings in scoring 17.4 points per game. Evan Ambrose at 12.4. We do know that Sean Kelly will not play again tonight. We did get the heads up that he is working through a hip pointer. So how does that change the dynamic for the Vikings?
Well, it changes a lot at the defensive end. Sean, after getting off to a really good start offensively this year, had struggled more lately offense. But he as we know, it was quickly apparent this year, he is quite a difference maker on the defensive end, and so that's obviously something that the Vikings miss as their best perimeter defender.
Yeah, we did see Dominic Roden picked up Kelly's uniform and played. He played some fairly decent minutes at Carthage. Gives them a little bit defensively. Didn't do a whole lot offensively, I think. But it's nice to see somebody that's athletic and can at least begin to help you a little bit defensively there.
Roden has impressed me in their JV games that I've watched. He's looked good. Can as you said, can apply a little bit of pressure defensively, although not to the extent that Sean Kelly does. So he's a kid that I would expect to develop. But again, you're talking about taking a seasoned guy out in Sean Kelly, who won a national championship at the junior college level. So he's a seasoned veteran. And you're replacing him with a freshman, so that is problematic.
Take a look. One of the other notes that Dan put together for tonight's game, in the Vikings' last 7 games where they are 2-5, Augie's shooting just 37% from the field, 162 of 435, 41%. I'm assuming, Dan, is that 47% or 41% inside the arc and 30% outside the arc?
Yeah, the 30% is only 2 percentage points from what they shoot on the year. So that's not as big an issue as the fact that they're shooting 41.7 inside the arc. You got to convert shots better than that.
Absolutely.
And that's really where they struggle. We talked about it in the Carroll game, which they came back and won. We talk about all the good things that they do. Big edge on the boards in that game, turnover advantage in that game, but it just makes it tough on you when you can't make shots.
Let's talk real quickly about the North Park Vikings. They are coached by Edward McGee in his first season. He has them obviously on a roll, 13-5, 8-1 in the conference. They are led in scoring by Rico Powell, who comes in averaging 15.6 points per game. After that, it's a very balanced, the next 10 players, they go 11 deep. So very balanced scoring after that. Not a great rebounding team, Dan, but they're going to pressure the hell out of the Vikings tonight.
They are, but you mentioned not a great rebounding team, and but they had a significant edge on the boards up in Chicago, 38-26 edge on the boards up there. So that's something that I would hope that the Vikings would do a little bit better tonight. But yeah, their calling card defensively is pressure, and they try and turn you over. And I think in that game the Vikings had 19 turnovers.
Yeah, 19 turnovers. North Park had 23 though.
Yeah, correct. And it's interesting. The Vikings. That's the one game out of the last 7 that the Vikings have shot the ball over 40%. They were at 45. But couldn't overcome 19 turnovers, minus 12 on the boards. And the other statistic in that game, 8 of 21 from the free throw line, including 1 for 10 from Sean Kelly and 2 for 5 from the guy that was leading the nation in free throw shooting in Tyler Canoe. So yeah. I think that won't be as I don't expect the free throw shooting to be as big an issue tonight. Hopefully the Vikings can do a little bit better job on the boards and maybe take a little bit better care of the ball.
Yeah, Canoe had 25 in that game. Kelly and Ambrose both had 11. Vikings shot it well. They shot 45% from the field, and then they were 7 of 17 behind the arc for 41%. But as Dan mentioned, just 8 of 21 from the free throw line. Conversely, North Park shot the ball extremely well, 53% from the field, 11 of 19, 58% from behind the arc, and they shot 18 of 24 from the free throw line. So you can't afford to turn the ball over that many times when you shoot the ball that well.
No, and from North Park's viewpoint, obviously all those good shooting numbers and plus 12 on the boards is how they overcame 23 turnovers.
Absolutely. Well, the interesting, I think, thing tonight will be to see what changes Coach Delp makes as far as how they're going to handle the pressure. As we said, this is a deep North Park team. They'll go 11 deep. The Vikings are playing without Sean Kelly, one of their best defenders, certainly one of their best scorers. So we'll see what Coach Delp has drawn up for tonight. Right now we will pause as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Welcome back into the Carver PE Center. Chris Ford and Dan Sand with you as we get set for CCIW action. It's the number 1 University of North Park Vikings against our Augustana Vikings. And right now, let's meet the starting lineups for both teams, and I'll send it back to Dan Sand.
All right, Chris, for North Park tonight, as you mentioned, they come in 13-5 overall and tied for the CCIW lead at 8-1 in the league. They'll have number 3, Preston Back, 6'3", 185 senior out of New Orleans, Louisiana, St. Augustine High School. He is a transfer from Houghton in New York. Number 5 is Rico Powell, 6'2", 175, senior out of Chicago, Illinois, Brother Rice High School. He is a transfer from Post University. And number 11 is DJ Wallace, 6'8", 170, and a sophomore. He's out of Hoffman Estates High School in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Number 12, TJ Gardner, 6', 170, and a senior from Chicago, Illinois, and Kenwood High School. He is a transfer from Murray State Community College. And number 20 is Lance Nelson, 6'1", 180, and a junior from Cottage Grove, Wisconsin, and Monona Grove High School. North Park is led by Edwin McGee in his first season at North Park, where he has a record of 13-5 overall. and 8-1 in the CCIW. And for the Vikings, Chris, come in 10-8 overall and 3-6 in the CCIW. Their lineup will look like this. Number 5, Evan Ambrose, 5'9", 150, and a senior from Cary, Illinois, Stevenson High School, and McHenry County Community College. Number 10, Danny Romero getting his first start of the year, 9'6", 185, and a junior from Malaga, Spain, and EBG Malaga. Number 30 is Mike Hamilton, 6'6", 220, and a senior from Elmwood Park, Illinois, and St. Patrick High School. Number 32, Tyler Knuth, 6'3", 205, and a senior from Rockford-Guilford High School in Rockford, Illinois. And number 34, Ray Marici, 6'6", 190, and a sophomore from Winnebago High School in Winnebago, Illinois. Vikings are led by second-year head coach Jordan Delp, who has an overall record of 16-17 with the Vikings and a CCIW mark of 8-13.
All right, very good. Thank you, Dan. The Vikings lead the all-time series 87-45. North Park has won 5 of the last 9. And I think it's always interesting to know when we play North Park, they also have 5 championship banners hanging up in their gymnasium.
They do, late 70s and mid 80s.
Yep.
So I think one of your questions tonight is any adjustments that Coach Delp is going to make. Obviously, Danny Romero being in the starting lineup, maybe get another
defensive.
Well, I was thinking another ball handler against North Park pressure.
Yep. Wallace and Hamilton step into the center circle, and Mikey steals the tap there, and the Vikings are going to get first opportunity here. North Park opens up in a man-to-man, not a surprise at all there. Vikings work it to Knuth now. He'll take the baseline jumper, a little too hard. Rebound pulled down by Rico Powell. Rico, their leading scorer, averaging 15.6 points per game.
Yeah, so also their leading rebounder, Chris. It's 6.6 rebounds a game, even though he's only 6'2".
TJ Gardner now gives it back to Powell. 10 on the shot clock now as Gardner works to the free throw line. 7 on the shot clock. He'll fade away over Romero. Couldn't get it to go. Hamilton right there for the rebound.
Good job by Danny Romero there to stay in front of Gardner and make him take that tough fadeaway.
Nelson ran into a tough screen there, and Ambrose got all the way to the bucket and scored.
Yeah,
that's a good sign for the Vikings.
Especially he took that right at DJ Wallace, the best shot blocker for North Park.
Powell again, their leading scorer. Yep. Good call there by Jordan Delp. He pointed that travel out to the official and got the call from him. That's some savvy coaching right there, Dan. So backcourt pressure now by North Park as Gardner works on Ambrose. Evan now comes to the near side, takes it to the top of the key. Look for Hamilton inside. Now they work it to him. He'll take the jumper off the backboard. No good.
Yeah, they switched on the, when Mike came out to set that screen, North Park switched and it left Gardner on him in a mismatch for the Vikings, but unfortunately couldn't take advantage of it.
Backs double team there and then fell down and picked up the traveling call. So the second turnover for North Park here with 18:22 to go. Vikings not getting a whole lot accomplished here besides working the perimeter. Ambrose now gets inside the free throw line. He'll throw it up, tough shot with the left hand. Hamilton retrieves it with 5 on the shot clock. His putback no good. Rebound pulled down by Lance Nelson. And now Nelson loses the handle on it. A little bit out of control there.
Well, we talked about the 23 turnovers that North Park had up in Chicago, and they've already turned it over 3 times here. And we also talked about the Vikings' struggles to finish around the basket, and we've kind of seen that as well here in the first 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, they only average 12 turnovers a game, North Park does. Let's get some quick math there.
Yeah, so that 23 is surprising.
Yeah, that's a double. There's Romero on a take from the short wing, and the Vikings up 4-0 on North Park here. Gardner now going to back it out near the timeline. Gets by Romero, will go all the way to the basket. Good job by Mike Hamilton to kind of force him underneath the hoop, and the shot went directly underneath the rim. Now Romero going to get a look, but he'll pass on that. Instead, the kick out from Knuth, now down low to Hamilton. Mikey works the baseline, lost the handle on it. Nelson picks it up. He'll go right by Knuth. Might have been a foul there on Knuth. Instead, they'll get Ambrose on that one. First foul on either team, picked up by Evan Ambrose. .16:53 to play as North Park puts it in play here. Nelson directs traffic up top to DJ Wallace. Now kicking the corner to Gardner. Kick back out to Powell. Goes through a couple Augie defenders, puts it up and scores with the left hand. Powell averages just shy of 29 minutes a game, shooting 44% from the field. First bucket for the visiting North Park Vikings, 4-2 with 16:20 to go in the half. Marici now. Good stop and good block there by DJ Wallace, but caught his block shot right on the baseline. So the Vikings will get it back with 10 on the shot clock. Lob out top to Hamilton. That was a little bit of a dangerous.
Yeah, Mikey, good hustle to get to that before Nelson did.
Ambrose got in the lane, got all the way to the bucket, rejected though by DJ Wallace. And then we'll have a double dribble, I believe, called on Rico Powell. Matt Hawkins checks into the ball game for the Vikings. They get a little bit smaller here. Ambrose picks up his dribble, gets it to Marici, now gets it right back. Evan in some traffic, controls the dribble. Knuth's going to take the three, and he bangs that one home. Knuth, the third player to score for the Vikings, and they lead 7-2 over North Park here.
North Park with their 5th turnover in the first 4.5 minutes.
Ambrose stops, squares up, off the back flange, into the corner, and then they will award it to North Park.
Yeah, I think Danny Romero had a chance to grab that, Chris, and he thought it was going to go the Vikings' way. I wish he'd have grabbed it.
Devontae Robinson checks into the ball game for North Park. He's their third leading scorer at 9.6 points per game.
And best three-point shooter, Chris, by both volume and percentage, 36 and 90 for 40% on the year.
Vikings with some good pressure in the backcourt. Gardner now forced off the box by Ambrose. Good job by the Vikings there. Robinson going to give it up to Nelson. He'll spin again in the lane. Good job by Hawkins to stay down on him. Powell will take the long three, no good. Evan Ambrose all alone for the rebound. Vikings run with a 7-2 lead as we go under 15 minutes now. Ambrose stops at the free throw line, kicks to Hawkins. Chase Larson now wants to go inside to Marici, and they're going to say it was tipped by North Park. Hit the baseline, and the Vikings will have it with 15 on the shot clock. Tajon Berry into the ball game, number 10, a 6'5" senior out of Dwight D. Eisenhower High School and Moraine Valley Community College. On the shot clock now. Ambrose going to put up the three. right on line, just a little too hard. Nelson with the long rebound. Pushes it up the floor to Robinson in the corner to Powell. He hits the three. Rico Powell drains the three. He's got 5 on the night now.
Yeah, the Vikings have looked terrific on defense tonight there, but they just missed Powell kind of in a secondary transition opportunity for that open three.
Anthony Cooper will check into the ball game, but not before Coach Delp takes a quick 30-second timeout. So Rico Powell leads North Park. He's got all 5 of their points, 2 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 behind the arc, a couple boards. For the Vikings, it's Romero with 2, Knuth with 3, and Evan Ambrose with 2. Augie 3 of 10 from the field for 30%, 1 of 2 behind the arc for 50%. Neither team been to the free throw line yet. North Park 2 of 5 for 40%, and 1 of 2 behind the arc. But again, as Dan mentioned previously, 5 turnovers already for North Park in this one to just 1 for Augustana. North Park a +2 on the boards right now also.
Tyler Knuth, Chris, hit that three-pointer a few minutes ago. He just recently moved into second place on the Vikings all-time three-point shooting list ahead of Dan Phelan, who played in the mid to late 90s, I believe. I think Tyler's got a long way to go to catch Kirk Anderson, but pretty sure that Tyler's going to end up second on the Vikings all-time three-point field goal list. Ambrose working the ball up against Nelson, gets by him, can't finish, and there's just another frustrating one. You get all the way to the rim, Chris, and have it roll off.
Did everything right, but get it to go in. Now Nelson will kick out. Powell kicks in the corner. Long three, good by T.J. Gardner.
No, that was Robinson, Chris. As we said, their best three-point shooter.
So North Park takes their first lead of the night at 8-7. Hawkins now in control, goes up top to Marucci. He'll bounce pass to Chase Larson. Larson going to take a tough shot. That's a fadeaway from just off the elbow with about 10 to go on the shot clock. Nelson now going to take it the length of the floor, blocked by Ambrose. Evan on the run out now. Clears traffic and throws it right into the hands of Nelson. Ahead to Powell. Little Euro step and he'll score and make it 10-7. North Park.
Well, you get the impression, Chris, that North Park is kind of getting the game into the tempo that they would prefer. And as they've done that, they've started to look a little better on offense than they did early.
Mike Vukovic, number 21, a 6'1 sophomore from Hanover, Illinois, and Hoffman Estates checks in for North Park. Romero back in for the Vikings. Hamilton also back in. Look ahead, and well, that's unfortunate because that's like having your wide receiver 15 yards behind the defender, and you had an easy basket or touchdown, whatever metaphor you want to use there, comparison, and the Vikings just didn't throw a good pass to Hamilton there. (10-7) North Park leads, 12:45 to go now. Sweet pass inside to Barry. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with North Park.
Block on that shot there by Anthony Cooper.
Knuth back into the ball game for the Vikings. North Park will lob way out on top and then inside, outside, right back out to, that was William Bates. Knuth with a little stop, draws the double team. Romero takes it into the lane, kicks out to Hawkins. He'll get by his man, pivots, reverse pivots, and scores. talked about Matt's ability to score at all three levels, and that was a good demonstration of kind of the mid-range stop and pop he's got there. Hard take to the bucket by Arno. No foul called. Vikings with the ball, trailing by 1, and Romero's bucket gives Augie the lead back, 11-10.
So we've seen Danny tonight a couple times successful at getting to the basket and finishing.
Arno now with the beautiful bounce pass lead for Barry, and he couldn't complete the
Augie got a break.
free throw.
Augie got a break as Tejon Barry missed a wide open layup.
Knuth all the way, and he'll reverse. Good job as Tejon Barry was right there ready to block the shot. Augie with a 3-point lead now, 13-10 with 11:20 to go. Robinson feed, second tip-in attempt by Tejon Barry goes. So Augie gave up a second chance opportunity there. Romero again going to get all the way to the basket, can't get it, but he'll draw the foul on Mike Vukovic.
Yeah, I've talked in the past about Danny's very good at getting the basket, but he doesn't always finish very well. So tonight he has been. He's finished 2 for 2, and he's going to get some free throws here. Just the second free throw that Danny's taken this year, and he's missed them both.
Ray Marici and Dominic Roden, number 14, into the ball game. Roden's wearing Sean Kelly's uniform. Kelly recovers from the hip pointer. 1 of 2 for Romero, so it's a 13-12 Augustana lead. 14, yep, excuse me, with 10:41 to go. Roden's going to get called for the foul there, but it looked like he grabbed a lot of ball.
Yeah, it sure looked like he was on top of the ball, Chris. And I think that's what Jordan Delp is expressing to the official.
Second team foul on the Vikings. The first on Danny got Romero on that one.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe Roden was clean on the ball, and then Danny got him down low.
Air ball there by North Park. We'll give it back to Augustana.
Fairly cleanly played game as far as fouls thus far, Chris. Just 3 fouls in the first 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, which is surprising with the pace that they've played at.
Yeah, in a hectic, North Park like to play a hectic style. A lot of times you'll see a little bit more foul-prone game.
Ray Marucci scores there. It's his first bucket of the night. Partial block there by the Vikings. Augie now with a 4-point lead. Roden going to draw the foul from Tejon Barry. That'll be Barry's first and North Park's second. Backs Wallace and Nelson back into the ball game for the visiting North Park Vikings. Ambrose gets back in for Augie. Knuth now with some space to work.
Working on backs.
Yep, steps right in on him and kind of jumps into his chest, forces the foul, and he'll get a couple free throws. Tyler's missed 7 free throws on the year now. It's a little disappointing.
Well, 3 of them were in the North Park game.
I know. For a long time he said he'd only missed 1.
Yeah, it comes in at 9.05 on the year from the line. which I think was 19th in the nation when I checked this morning, Chris.
Chase Larson will check back in for the Vikings. 18-12, Augie leads now with 9:48 to go. Augie 7 of 16 from the field now for 43%. North Park 5 of 16 for 31. Augie with some pressure now. Nelson will clear the timeline all the way to the bucket, runs right into Marucci and scores. I think he gave him a little elbow there.
A little bit of a clear out.
There's some pressure going on. Threaded the needle there. And now Roden will back things out and get it to Ambrose. 4-point Augustana lead. Marucci going to be called for the travel. Again, the Vikings kind of with this zone press, and they fall back into a 2-3 zone. Nelson with the long three, no good. Good job by Chase Larson to tap it out to Evan Ambrose there. Roden on top to Marucci. Now Ambrose in front of the North Park bench. Works into the lane, little head fake, kicks out to Roden. 15 on the shot clock. Marucci lost the handle. Picks it back up, clears some space, takes a nice little jumper. Nice soft touch by Ray Marucci.
Yeah, we usually see Ray spinning and laying the ball in around the basket. It's nice to see him with a little fadeaway there.
He's got 4 on the night now. Vikings will be called for the foul there. That's
fouls on number 34, Ray Marucci.
That one goes on Marucci. His first. And again, just the third team foul on the Vikings.
PJ Gardner, 67% on the year from the line. Third leading scorer for North Park at 9.6 a game.
Cooper and Romero check back in for the Vikings. Vikings led in scoring by Tyler Knuth with 7. Marucci has 4. Danny Romero has 5 to go along with the rebound and assist. And Rico Powell is the leading scorer for North Park with 7. Vikings +1 on the boards, 11-10. Romero drew the double team. Ball loose on the floor, and we're going to get a timeout called by North Park. Not a lot of good spacing there between Chase Larson and Romero there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chris, the Vikings have really handled North Park's pressure pretty well tonight. It's their turnovers, and that was Augie's 5th. Have for the most part in the half court.
We'll take a quick look at the rest of the CCIW action tonight. Elmhurst plays at Wheaton. North Central is at Milliken. And Carroll plays at Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, just looking at the standings, Chris, we've talked about how the top 3 have made clear separation with everybody else. So basically the teams that the Vikings are going to be jockeying for that last for those remaining CCIW tournament spots are going to be Elmhurst, Milliken, North Central, and Carroll. And so those are probably the scores that, if you're interested in Augie working their way into a conference tournament bid, it's the scores from those teams that you probably need to watch.
North Central will be here Saturday night. 10 on the shot clock now. Gardner gets to the bucket, kicks out. A long 3 by Preston Bax. Might have been partially blocked.
I think Evan Ambrose might have got his second block shot of the night.
Yeah. So the Vikings with a 5-point lead and the ball as we go under 7.5 to play here in the first half. Cooper going to get a look from three. Again, right on line, just a little bit too hard. A couple Vikings tap it, but can't control it. Gardner going to go the length of the floor, and there's some speed right there that kills as he went right by a couple Viking defenders and was able to score easily on the layup. 20-17 now. Augustana with the lead. Cooper reverses it back to Romero. Now he'll skip pass. Long three. Good by Evan Ambrose. Good look by Romero.
Yeah, Danny snapped that pass across there nicely.
Yeah. You either love that one or you hate it if it gets picked off. Inside to Wallace, and he'll score on Chase Larson. Wallace picks up his first bucket of the night. It's a 4-point Augustana lead. Kick in the corner. Cooper puts a fork in it, finds it, now gets it back to Ambrose. 15 on the shot clock. Evan with the bounce pass. Marucci wasn't ready for it. Easy breakaway, and it's probably a good foul by Ambrose as he'll force free throws versus the bucket.
Yeah, I'm sure that everybody probably heard my audible sigh on that. Those are just the kind of completely unforced turnovers that are so frustrating against a team like North Park that's going to turn you over anyway.
Right.
Backs 8 of 12 from the free throw line this year, 67%. Averages a little over 5 points and about 2.5 rebounds a game. We mentioned North Park Coach Edwin McGee plays an 11-man rotation with very balanced scoring, basically after Powell.
Powell and Tajon Berry back into the ball game. Vikings get Mike Hamilton, Mike Hawkins. Or Matt Hawkins, excuse me. So 23-21, a 2-point ball game with 5:58 to go now. Augie with the opportunity to run the baseline after the made basket. Don't have to utilize that now. Romero will work it up the floor against Gardner and lost it. Got picked by Gardner, but they're going to say Gardner got some arm on that one.
Yeah, North Park averages 10.5 steals a game, so that's clearly their focus defensively is to turn you over.
Larson now going to work on Powell. Kicks it over to Cooper. Out on top now to Hawkins, 10 on the shot clock. Matt looking for some help, finds it in Romero. 5, gonna have to take the long three, and it's good.
We'll take it.
Matt Hawkins, no hesitation there as the clock ticked to 5. And the Vikings knock down a 3, and it's a 5-point Augustana lead now with 5:20 to play in the first half. Robinson going to give it up to Powell. Vikings have done a decent job on him. He's only got 7. That one good, though, by Berry. To Cooper. Up to Hamilton. That is the one thing, Dan, we've talked about this before, too, is when a team presses you, you have the opportunity, if you can break that press, to get an easy basket. Vikings have had a few opportunities tonight, but not a ton. Great shot by Mikey Hamilton there.
Yeah, mostly what we've seen tonight. Well, Evan Ambrose has had pretty good luck getting to the basket. Hasn't always finished tonight. Danny Romero's done a couple of nice finishes around the basket.
Romero gets a steal there. Vikings lead by 5, under 4.5 to go. Chase Larson to the bucket, and the Vikings putting a couple possessions together here, go up by 7. Go ahead and finish your point.
No, that was the point I was attempting to make, is the Vikings have attacked that pressure when they've gotten it across tonight. And again, look at the shooting numbers, 52%. We've talked about how the Vikings have struggled to shoot it.
Cooper going to get a shot at a 3, and he hits it, and the Vikings go up by 10. And that causes a North Park timeout as Coach Edwin McGee wants to talk about it here with exactly 4 minutes to play. We'll take our first full timeout of the half. 4 minutes to go. Augie leads North Park 33-23. We'll be back with more Augustana basketball right after this. Welcome back into the Carver PE Center. Chris Ford, Dan Sand with you. Augustana leads by 10 with 4 minutes to go. And they've done it on some hot shooting here. 56% from the field, 13 of 23. North Park 9 of 24 for 37%. Augie 4 of 6 behind the arc tonight. North Park 2 of 8. Both teams have been to the free throw line 4 times and made 3 apiece. Dan, another interesting stat that you put in the game notes tonight, 21 varsity players used by Augie this year.
I believe that, to near as I could tell going back through records, that is a program record.
Wow.
At least back through the 50s.
Okay.
I did find I think it was 33, 34, one of those years where there were 21 players on the roster, but I have no idea obviously whether they all played. Didn't have just statistical records from back then.
Nice screen and roll there, but the Vikings pick up the loose handle. Here comes Ambrose, leaves it for Canute, steps into three and bangs it home.
Wow.
Vikings red hot right now. Shot out of the corner, and that's good by, who was that, William Bates?
Yeah.
So Bates stops the momentum of the Vikings here a little bit. But with 3:16 to go, Augie still leads by 11, 36-25. Great pick there by Arno. He'll take it the length of the floor and score.
Yeah, that's really the first time tonight that I think that North Park got the pick 6, if you will.
Yeah, and there's another one. Now I'm guessing Coach Delp might want to call a timeout here or get some help in there, as North Park's done a really good job of putting some pressure on the Vikings here and scored 2 possessions in a row.
Yeah, the Vikings, Augie had done a great job of handling that all night up to that point, but then 2 in a row. And quite honestly, as we talked about, a lot of the Vikings offense has been generated by being able to handle that press.
Dan, in my mind, there are 2 significant steals in Augustana history completed by the same person. Do you have any idea who I'm thinking of or what I'm thinking of? It happened at Wheaton.
Griffin Pills had an incredible steal in a game up at Wheaton up there.
I was thinking
Chris Orange.
Krishan Orange.
Yeah, that was obviously a little later, but I think it was in the 15-16 season. I think Wheaton might have gone winless in the league that year. They were awful, and they took us to overtime up there. Yeah. Tyler Canute forces up a
Krishan Orange made a couple huge steals that won that game for the Vikings. 36-29 the score here right now. Augie leads North Park. We go under 2 minutes to play. Tip in there again by Bates. He's done some damage here for the visiting Vikings. He's got 4 on the night now.
8-0 run since Tyler Canute's 3-pointer put the Vikings up 13, Chris.
Yeah, they've really cranked up the pressure here. Ambrose going to go right at the defense. Roden picks up the loose ball and draws the foul. Coach Delp, I saw, brought having Ambrose over and kind of gave him a slow down, take a look at the clock, 1:31 to go.
Yep.
Let's get a good shot.
Dominic Roden came in 3 of 4 on the year. Hasn't played a whole lot. Came in having played just 16 minutes. Like I said, he's looked good on the JV level this year.
He's got good size.
Gonna have to get in the weight room.
Well, yeah.
He's pretty wispy.
Yeah, wispy. I like that.
Wispy.
Knocks down both free throws. So with 1:31 to go, the Vikings now lead North Park 38-31. Romero gets back into the ball game. And again, the Vikings going to provide some token pressure here. Devontae Robinson works on Knuth, picks up his dribble, now gets help in Bates. Bates going to load the 3. That one too hard. Hamilton right there with a nice block out on DJ Wallace. Now Roden going to work to the left hand. Brings it to the free throw line, kicks to Knuth. Gives it right back to Roden. He'll take it in the lane. Tried to squeeze the bounce pass through a couple defenders. Would have been great. Unfortunately, Wallace got a foot on it. And we'll reset the shot clock at 20 and the game clock at 58.7 as Ambrose checks back into the ballgame for Augustana. Preston Bax back in for North Park. Knuth will take the entry pass. Wow, I can't bet a lot of contact there.
I thought it was pretty clean, Chris.
And then Bax goes by Knuth. See, I don't know. I don't know if I feel that's consistent there. But the Vikings will come up on the short end of that stick. First foul on Knuth. Just the 5th foul, but a shooting foul. So Preston Bax will head to the free throw line. So Bax converts on both, and it's a 6-point Augie lead now with 51.6 to play. Get the foul on Vukovic there.
And that'll put the Vikings in the bonus.
Yeah, not a good foul.
Yeah, 17 foul on North Park. Well, you know what? After the Vikings' free throw shooting performance up at Chicago, maybe North Park thinks that might not be a bad strategy.
Yeah.
Although the Vikings 5 of 6 from the line tonight. Augie 5 of 6 from the line. Actually, both Vikings are 5 of 6 from the line tonight.
Yeah, I'm guessing Sean Kelly doesn't want to. That's not going to go down in his personal memory of. I think was he 1 of 10?
1 of 10. Yeah.
If one of the North Park players runs over to the bench and fouls him in street clothes, we got a problem. Ambrose knocks in both free throws to make it a 7-point Augie lead with 50.5 to play.
Chris, just glancing here at the statistics, what jumped out at me is the line that Danny Romero is putting together in his first start tonight. He's 1 rebound away from being halfway to a triple-double. Yeah. With 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists here in the first half.
The Vikings get a steal now. About a 10-second difference between shot and game clock, trying to get the 2 for 1. And they do with a Tyler Knuth 3 that gives him 13. Yeah, Augie back to a 10-point lead.
We talk often, if you can get Tyler a good open look like that, that's about as good of a shot as the Vikings can get.
About a 2.5-second difference between shot and game clock here. Gardner wants the screen. Lost the handle on the ball, picked up a long 3. That one will be no good. Rebound, put back up. That one no good. And that will end the first half. So good first half for Augustana, similar, Dan, to what we kind of saw earlier in the season. The Vikings played strong basketball.
Well, I think it started at the defensive end. The Vikings, North Park turned it over 5 times in the first, I think, about 3 minutes of the game. And I think that kind of got Augie kick started. And then throughout the whole half, for about the first 17 minutes, Augie did a great job of handling North Park's pressure and got some good offensive opportunities after breaking that pressure. And then later in the half, North Park started to get some turnovers with active hands. But a nice little flurry at the end of the half there, capped by Canoe's three-pointer, gives the Vikings a double-digit lead at the half.
Yeah, interesting. Both teams played 10 players, and 9 players scored on each team, so pretty balanced scoring. Outside of Canoe, the only player in double figures with 13. So we will take a halftime break here, collect some stats. We'll be back with more Augustana basketball in about 5 minutes.
And now, fans, next we welcome Charlotte Freer. Charlotte is a native from Chicago, Illinois, tutor, majoring in biology, pathology, and pre-PA. This spring, Charlotte took the momentum of being an NCAA qualifier as a freshman and started the outdoor season with a bang. At the season opened at 7 race, Charlotte Freer qualified best with the discus, breaking the school record by over 2 feet. She came back the next week to set another personal and Augustana best by another 3 feet. Qualifying her for the national meet. At the CCIW Conference Championships, she earned all conference honors in both the discus and the all CCIW honors in the javelin. At nationals, she came in ranked 3rd overall. On her second pro, she set another lifetime best by almost a foot, throwing 50.27 meters to take the lead by 1 centimeter. After 6 rounds were all finished, she held the lead to become the 2024 NCAA Discus National Champion. To honor her national title, Coach Chad Nicholson and the Augustana Track and Field Squad are here presenting her with a national championship ring. Congratulations once again to Charlotte Freer, your 2024 Discus National Champion.
scoring-wise by Tyler Knuth, who had 13 points. He had 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 4 from three-point range, and both of his free throws for a game-high 13 points in the first half. Excellent balance behind Tyler as well as Danny Romero, and 7 points for Evan Ambrose. Danny Romero and Matt Hawkins each had 5, 4 points for Ray Marici, 3 for Anthony Cooper, 2 each for Dom Roden, Chase Larson, and Mike Hamilton to round out Augie's total of 43. Vikings were 15 of 26 from the field for 58%, 6 of 9 from three-point range for 67%, and 7 of 8 from the free throw line for 88%. Rebounds were even at 15 in the first half. North Park turned it over 7 times, and Augustana turned it over 9 times. Look at some other numbers. Points off turnovers, 12-11 in favor of North Park. Most of those came right at the end of the first half. Points in the paint, 20-18 in favor of North Park. Second chance points, 4-0 in favor of North Park. Fast break points were even at 13. And bench points, 15-12 in favor of North Park. One thing that I wanted to point out in the first half, in addition to the scoring, was Danny Romero's first half line. 5 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds for Danny getting his first start of the year. He'd only played 77 minutes all year, got his first start of the year tonight, and had a terrific first half for Augie with, like I said, 5 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds in the first half.
We'll bring you up to speed on some other scores in the CCIW tonight. North Central leads Milliken 36-24. Elmhurst with a 10-point lead at halftime over Wheaton, 33-23. And Carroll's hanging around with Illinois Wesleyan, 39-34. Those games are all at the half. Take a look at the remaining Augustana schedule. Vikings will be back here at the Carver Peace Center on Saturday for a 7:15 contest against North Central. The Vikings will have the following Wednesday off, and then Saturday, February 8th, they will be at Milliken for an afternoon game, and Wednesday, February 12th, Elmhurst comes to the Carver Center for a 7 o'clock ball game. And that would leave Carroll, Wheaton, and Illinois Wesleyan as the final 3 games, with the final 2, Wheaton and Illinois Wesleyan, being at home.
And we talked, Chris, those next 4 after tonight, obviously
huge.
Yeah, because those are all the teams you're battling for those CCIW tournament spots.
Yep.
Of course, the Vikings could get a big quote-unquote bonus win, if you will, tonight if they can hang on to this lead here in the second half against a North Park team that's currently tied for the top spot in the league at 8-1.
Saturday also brings us the opportunity to see the Fighting Alex Washington as Alex returns, assistant coach for the Vikings for a long time, and now the head assistant coach up at North Central. So always good to see Alex. Had a fine playing career here, also at Augustana.
Got a little clock issue they had to straighten out, but it looks like we're good to go here to get started.
Looks like starters for both teams are back out on the floor, and away we go here in the second half. Gardner going to go to Powell on the wing, guarded by Marucci. Nelson moves it back to Gardner, spins in the lane, little jumper, no good. Rattled around and out. Danny Romero picks up rebound number 6. Nice bounce pass to Hamilton, and he'll flush it.
Number 6.
Yeah, so Dan mentioned Romero's line, and he adds a rebound and assist in the first 30 seconds of the second half. Bax got away with a weak pass on the baseline there, and then Lance Nelson stepped on the sideline, so Augie will get it back on the the 8th turnover for North Park here. 12-point Augustana lead just underway here in the second half. tried to leave it for Marucci, but quick hands of T.J. Gardner got in the way there. It'll be an Augustana ball with 10 on the shot clock. Into the backcourt they go to Ambrose. Evan behind his back, draws a nice screen, throws it up, no good. Got a pretty good look there.
Yeah, as we talk, when Evan can get open looks in the lane like that, he's usually pretty good. That one was just too strong.
Nelson now goes to Rico Powell. Might have got away with a travel, but threw up an air ball. And then we'll get a block on Preston Bax, which will be his second. And the first team foul on the visiting North Park Vikings here in the second half. Trying to get it to Knuth down on the low post. Instead, he'll take it out on top and shoot the three right on line. Just a little too hard. They're going to say knocked out of bounds by Rico Powell there.
Yeah, it was lined up perfectly with Knuth's three there. I thought he had it, but like you said, just a little too strong.
20 on the shot clock for the Vikings. Wallace on Hamilton. Mike gives it to Knuth. He kind of lost his footing, gives it back to Romero. He leaves it out for Marucci, but get a little sloppy, and then it's stolen away by Powell.
Yeah, I saw a little tentativeness on that offensive possession. The Vikes weren't really, no one was really looked too concerned to attack.
No, and a little bit lazy on the passing. Ambrose going to get a look. Wide open to Knuth, short on that one. Rebound came to Mike Hamilton, but they're going to say he pushed off. So Hamilton commits his first team foul on the Vikings here with 17:42 to play in the ballgame. Interesting that Augie's put on some token pressure most of the night too.
Well, we saw a little bit of that zone in the first half. I'm guessing just trying to mix things up to make it, take North out of any comfort
Slow
level.
It down a little bit.
Yeah.
Nelson with the crossover in the lane, comes to the jump stop, rejected. Had a shot block to Romero's line now.
And another rebound.
And a rebound, yeah. Wide open look for Ambrose, can't hit it. Hamilton with the rebound, puts it up and scores. Mike Hamilton with 6 rebounds now and 6 points on the night. Powell might have got away with a travel, but we'll take it. Vikings have numbers, 4 on 5. Hamilton gonna miss the shot, and the Viking staff, the North Park Viking staff is unhappy because Powell is down on the end line, but you can't stop the ball game.
Not when
you can't take away a fast break opportunity from another team.
Well, I'm guessing what Coach McGee might be saying is that at one point Augie did stop their transition and pull the ball out. I'm not sure whether that would make a difference in an official's decision.
I don't think it does.
5-on-4 opportunity for Augie.
Yeah.
Hopefully Powell's okay, although he's rolling, but he had been laying face down. Now he's rolled over on his back. So hopefully Rico Powell's okay.
I would say he's walking gingerly on the left side of his body there.
With almost 17 minutes left, Chris, I'm guessing we're probably going to see Rico Powell again.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we mentioned, he came in tonight leading scorer and rebounder on the year for North Park, averaging almost 16 points and 7 rebounds a game. Mike Hamilton going to shoot a couple free throws here, 74% on the year.
front ends the first one there.
For your Vikings, number 12.
Matt Hawkins into the ball game. Hamilton misses both. Gardner going to race it up the floor, not worried about numbers, and we'll get a push on Hamilton. I think that's a good call. As backs work the end line, Hamilton helped him out of bounds there a little bit. So 26 on the shot clock, 16:45 to play in the game. A lob out on top to Bates. Vikings stay in the man-to-man on the out-of-bounds play. Now DJ Wallace will be called for the travel there. Just not good balance there as he put the ball above his head and feet too close together. And down he went. Turnover number 10 for North Park. Knuth has his shot blocked by DJ Wallace. Boy, that looked clean to me.
It was clean all up top, but I think he did get him across the arm as he came down.
So Knuth will head to the line for three.
Knuth at the line with 3.
Did you make all three of these?
What's that?
Did you make all three of these?
You're the one that's usually superstitious and not supposed to mention. I'm going to say he's not going to make it. You're the one that's all superstitious about not mentioning percentages, and Vikings have missed their last 3 free throws, which is probably not something we should be joking about at this point, Chris.
No, we shouldn't.
But I will say this: North Park has defended Tyler at the free throw line better than any team any team we played this year.
And Sean Kelly, yeah. Their free throw defense is excellent against Augustana. All right, 2 out of 3 for Knuth there. He's got 15 on the night now. Again, the only player in double figures for either team with 15. And Augie leads by 14 now with a lot of time left. Gardner with a big hard take to the bucket. Got everything but the basket to go there. Ambrose now with the crossover. Passes the timeline, and now Hamilton will take it to the far wing. Hawkins near side to Anthony Cooper, who's into the ball game. And now 10 on the shot clock.
And again, a kind of a tentative looking possession for Augie, Chris.
Ambrose, though, gets deep penetration. Got a pretty good look, couldn't get it to go. Rebound down to Bates. Barry now puts it on the deck. Kick in the corner, gets it right back. Shot up off the glass, nice touch there. Couple times tonight they've executed that kind of give and go out of the corner. And it's a 12-point Augustana lead now, 49-37. Larson comes to the ball, now backs it out. Again, 10 on the clock, and the Vikings haven't been inside the three-point arc yet. Ambrose going to take the long three, and the rebound into the corner, picked up by Devontae Robinson. Right through the Viking defense goes Tajon Berry. Shot no good, but he'll pick up the foul call.
Hamilton for his third, I think, Chris, yeah?
Yes, that is correct. Marucci will check into the ball game for Hamilton. Bates kicks back out on top to Devontae Robinson. Then ball lost by Bates as he gave it back to him.
Yeah, good hands there by Anthony Cooper. I think he initially got his hand in there.
And you got to call that foul as Nelson got caught with the hand in the cookie jar there. Romero checks back in. 14:27 to play in the second half here. Augie leads 49-37. And we are going to have a timeout. This is a full timeout called by Augustana. We'll take a chance here to take a quick break. Plenty of time to go here, but Augie with a 12-point lead. We'll be back with more Augustana basketball after this. .27 to play here in the ballgame. Augie leads North Park 49-37. DJ Wallace is back on the bench for North Park. He went down pretty hard a few minutes ago.
No, it was Powell.
Powell, excuse me, yeah. 15 on the shot clock now as Hawkins gives it to Marucci. Romero to Knuth. Tyler travels. Well, I tell you what, the last three possessions for the Vikings have been disjointed.
Exactly, Chris. Very tentative. You know, watching, not really even sure what it looks like we're trying to accomplish. They've all been open posts. They're not posting anybody up. And it's just basically been five guys drifting on the perimeter, passing it to each other without much. Doesn't appear like much of an objective.
Right. North Park turns it over, picked up by Romero, all the way to the bucket. Tough shot there as he collected himself right underneath the rim. Didn't have a great angle there. Still a 12-point Augie lead. 13 and a half to play, and the Vikings get it again. Romero this time, still no good, and he'll draw the foul this time on Lance Nelson. Going to get Nelson with a push in the back.
Well, credit Augie, Chris, through this period of stale offense is they're getting
some defense.
Getting it done on the defensive end. Yeah. Anthony Cooper with a couple steals, and Danny Romero with the steal there. He's going to get a couple free throws out of it. Vikings now 2 of 6 from the free throw line in the second half.
Powell checks back into the ball game along with T.J. Gardner for North Park. Powell's got 9 on the night. He came in as their leading scorer at 15.6. Romero gets 1 of 2. It's back to a 13-point lead, which I believe is the Vikings' largest of the night.
No, they were up by 14 at one point, yeah.
Yep. Gardner with the stop and pop. North Park just 2 of 7 now in the second half from the field. They've not attempted a three-pointer either, and no attempts at the free throw line. Roden gets to the elbow and throws a bad pass as he was off balance. We're going to get a foul on Anthony Cooper.
12th Augustana turnover, Chris.
As we said, when these two teams met before, it was what, 23 turnovers for North Park
and 19
for Augie.
Yep.
And we're looking at 13 for North Park and 12 for Augie right now. We're going to get a foul called on Ray Marucci.
Yeah, not sure about that one. I think I might have to agree with Coach Delp to question that one a bit.
Second on Ray, fifth on the Vikings here. With just under 13 to play now in the ballgame. Robinson all the way to the hoop with the left hand, no good. All Vikings there for the rebound. Roden gets it, gets it right back.
You got to like Dom Roden, all about 150 pounds of him wrestling that rebound away. Augie, another thing that Augie has done well here in the second half is keep North Park off the offensive glass.
Yep. Into the low post now, and the pivot caught Marucci on the end line. Well, it's been a slow start to the second half, Dan. Vikings have scored 7, just 4 points for North Park.
Yeah, try not to mention it on Augie's side, Chris, because we've beaten that drum so heavily this year, but as I said, credit the Vikings for playing excellent defense.
Yeah.
And as I said, keeping North Park off the offensive glass.
Gardner there gets by his man for a easy layup, and we'll take a 30-second timeout here by North Park with 12:05 to play.
Yeah, you mentioned in the second half, North Park now 3 of 9 from the field for 33% in the second half. Augie 2 of 9. The only 2 field goals the Vikings have were that dunk on the opening possession by Mike Hamilton and then a putback he had a couple minutes later, and they have gotten nothing else going offensively since then.
I do like the fact that Augie's been to the 10 of 15 from the free throw line. North Park just 5 of 6.
And then another benefit of Augie's solid defense here in the second half is when you can keep North Park from scoring, it's a little harder for him to set up that pressure defense.
Absolutely. $11:55 to go. Augie leads 50-39, and we're going to get a foul on TJ Gardner.
And that's going to be the 16th foul on North Park, Chris. So from here on out, Augie will be shooting.
That's Gardner's second. Nelson has 3. And
Hamilton with 3
has
for
3,
Augie,
yep.
yeah.
There's only 2 guys. Ambrose now brings it bench side. We'll go back to Mike Hamilton. Romero, 10 on the shot clock now. Knuth around the top, stops at the key, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Romero going to get into the free throw line, shot up, no good. I would say a decent look, not a great look.
No, not a great look, Chris. End of the shot clock from not one of your more effective outside shooters.
Powell gives it back to Gardner. Bates works off the baseline, and he'll draw the foul. That's Hamilton's 4th. These will be the first free throw attempts for North Park in the second half. Larson and Cooper back in.
Bates 82% on the year coming in, 14 out of 17.
So a 9-point ball game now with still plenty of time to go. 11-10 to play in the ball game. Ambrose to the hoop, and they're going to say he just lost the handle on the ball. It'll be North Park ball, so the Vikings commit their 14th turnover. Powell takes the inbounds pass. He'll go all the way to the basket, finish with the left hand. Momentum swing here now to the North Park side as they've cut it to a 7-point lead. And then they're going to say Ambrose got trapped in the corner and stepped on the sideline. And Coach Delp wants to take a timeout to talk about this one. Full timeout called by Augie, so we'll take a break here. 10:46 to play in the ball game. North Park making a little run here at Augustana, 50-43. We'll be back right after this. Well, interesting, Dan. We talked about three teams tied at 8-1. Illinois Wesleyan, Carthage, and North Park. And North Park and Illinois Wesleyan both trail tonight. Late, well, I won't say late, I would say halfway into the second half. So I think if you're Carthage, you're probably pretty happy sitting at home watching CCIW action tonight, thinking that there's a possibility two teams tied with you could take losses, but obviously there's a ton of time to play in both of these ball games. Pass down to Powell, out of bounds. It will go to the Vikings.
Rico Powell telling, I think it was, I'm not sure whether it was Robinson, who made that entry pass to throw it high.
Yeah, he sat down a little bit and I think lost his balance.
Right, I think he had a mismatch against Danny Romero.
There we go. Romero again gets to the bucket and finishes. He's got 8 points to go with 7 rebounds and 6 assists in 21 minutes.
Well, and Chris, it's interesting, Devontae Robinson with the long three. It's interesting to me. We've talked about how much the Viking offense, the Augie offense tonight, as Larson misses a three, has come off of beating that press and getting kind of transition opportunities. So I think as North Park has struggled offensively and not gotten into that pressure, Augie's had to work the half court and haven't been very effective.
Yeah. Cooper going to get a look from three, no good. Ball tapped around. Picked up by Devontae Robinson. He'll leave it ahead for Powell. I thought he stepped on the end line.
That time he did throw it high, but it was too deep for Powell to have any opportunity to do anything with it.
So both teams missing some golden opportunities to snap out of this one.
And Augie has gotten 2 very good three-point looks the last 2 trips. I think they granted Robinson a timeout there.
Wow, they did. Heads up play there by Devontae Robinson.
Full timeout.
Yeah, so North Park takes the full timeout here with 9:17 to play. Augie leading by 9, 52-43. If we look at second half stats, North Park 4 of 12 from the field, 0 of 1 behind the arc. They are just 2-11 for the game from behind the arc. Free throw wise, they are 2 of 2 in the second half, 7 of 8 overall. You look at the Augustana side of things, Augie 18 of 39 for 46%. 0 of 6 in the second half behind the arc.
After 6 of 9 in the first half.
After 6 of 9.
You explain that to me. We've looked at that. I mean, that's we've talked, and only 3 of 13 from the field in the second half.
Yeah.
Every game, it's baffling to me.
Yeah. Augie has done a better job at the free throw line, getting there double the amount of North Park there, 10 of 15 for 67%. Well, I think you look at who's taking the three-pointers in the second half. I think
Cooper just had a wide open look a minute ago. Tyler's missed a couple.
Chase Larson took 2.
I think Larson took 1, but I mean they've gotten good looks. That's probably been, other than the 3 layups they've got.
I thought that looked like a good block by Marucci, but I think he maybe got him down low on the body.
Yeah, no, I don't know how better a looks you get than the wide open 3 that Cooper missed a minute ago, and you mentioned Larson, who was not as adept a 3-point shooter, but nonetheless an open look. Gardner knocks the first one in. First look at Nicholas Giliberto tonight.
I think he played in the first half.
Did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
He did. A couple minutes.
You're correct.
Doesn't happen often.
No, that's not true. And I owe Trevor Jossard a apology, as he was correct on Tyler Canoe's career high.
30.
And I was apparently suffering from some level of senility when I thought he had 32 against Carroll.
Roden now back out on top to Giliberto. Far side wing to Ambrose. 10 on the shot clock. Evan going to pull up and take the free throw and makes it. 10-point Augie lead now with 8:40 to go.
And Evans got a fair amount of looks with shots like that tonight. He just hadn't knocked him down. That should be a travel.
Gardner was out of control. Yeah.
They get Tom Roden.
I mean, somewhere in there, I think the Vikings got to stop the ball above the free throw line,
absolutely.
too.
Absolutely.
Gardner's got 6 points on the night, 2 of 7 from the field, couple boards, a steal. Knocks down the first one. He's their minutes leader tonight with 25. .46 now with 8:34 to go. Hawkins runs the baseline, gets it into Roden. Freshman will take his time, works it back to Romero. Danny right through 3 defenders.
Yeah, they were running a triple team at him. I was hoping the Vikings would get a transition opportunity out of it.
Hawkins going to get some room to operate down on the low post. He'll spin baseline side. Ball caught the side of the backboard. Giliberto going to take it back, blocked by TJ.
I think we're going to have a shot clock violation, Chris.
Yeah, Wallace, and then a shot clock violation. I think we're going to have a foul, maybe. Or they're going to look at it.
Nope. It is going to be a foul on backs, yeah.
That's a huge break for Augustana.
Yeah, got to convert some free throws here, Chris. Vikings just 3 of 7 from the line here in the second half. All right, Chris, I wasn't going to mention the fact that Nicholas hadn't missed a free throw all year, 4-4.
Yeah. Powell kicks it out to Gardner, and we're going to get a foul on Augustana, which will result in free throws.
Hold on to Anthony Cooper.
Yep. Cooper picks up his second.
It's going to be DJ Wallace at the free throw line. 75% on the year, 12 out of 16.
Second one, no good, but Powell gets the rebound, steps back inside, and he got called for a travel. Knuth will check into the ball game for the Vikings as Roden checks out. 7:48 to go now, still a 7-point Augustana lead. Romero, the only one that's touched the ball. Now Giliberto and Cooper with 12 on the shot clock. Hawkins in the low post, going to work on Powell. Partially blocked and a foul. I'm not advocating a double if I was North Park, but I'm surprised they don't close down a little bit on Hawkins.
Wow. Not sure that the Vikings, that Augie has had a ton of success, so.
Hawkins has 6 on the night. They get 7. I just think they gave him a ton of room to operate. 56-47 now with 7:24 to go.
Don Roden almost with the steal there.
Pick there, yeah. Backs with a good hard take from the wing. Makes it a 7-point ball game, 56-49. And again, we see the pressure, 3 in the backcourt. So far, the Vikings have handled it well. And now see if they can attack.
I would like to see maybe Tyler step into DJ Wallace when he got him up in the air with that head fake.
Marici looking for help. Knuth pulled up, no good. Marici got a hand on it, deflected it, and Cooper able to pick it up. So a fresh 20 for the Vikings. Ray going to go to work in the low box. Kicks out to Knuth, that's a good look. Lets the defender fly by, misses everything on the 3, and Dom Roden got inside. Credit the freshman with great position there, boxing out TJ Gardner.
Just the 19th foul, so still a 1-and-1 here.
Three points for Roden, all from the free throw line tonight to go with 2 boards, assist, and a steal. Second one too hard, ball tipped around. Powell will pick it up. Back's going to kick it back. A long three, good by Rico Powell. Powell's got 14 on the night now. He's 6 of 9 from the floor. Give him 7 rebounds too, and it's a 5-point ball game, as close as North Park has been in some time. Ambrose to the bucket, and they're going to get a foul on North Park. I think we caught a break there, as Evan might have been out of control a little bit there.
I would say, Chris, this entire second half has been called, I would say, a little differently than the first half was. Not being critical, not saying either team's gotten an advantage, but I think there have been a lot of, let's say, inconsistent calls.
DJ Wallace was called on that one. That's his third. Larson into the ball game for the Vikings. Lance Nelson checks in for North Park. And Tristan Arno also into the ball game, number 1. Ambrose converts both free throws to make it a 59-52 ball game now with under 6 minutes to play. Nelson kicks out, long three by Devontae Robinson, no good. Big rebound though by Barry. He gets it back, leans in and scores on Marucci.
Second chance points, Chris.
Yep. Free throw here will make it a 4-point ball game. Preston Bax checks back in, number 3 for the visiting North Park Vikings. Augie will counter with their sharpshooters and Anthony Cooper and Tyler Knuth.
Barry 79% on the year coming in tonight. First trip on the line tonight. He's looking to get into double figures. I know he has 9. Finishing the three-point play, he's got 9.
So a 4-point ball game here with plenty of time to play, 5.5, and now a 5-second call. Roden checks back in. He'll get Knuth. Chase Larson checks in. He'll get Cooper. Well, Augie going to have to show some composure here to hold on here. Nelson now wants the high ball screen from Barry. Robinson kick in the corner. They get their leading scorer with a 3 out of the corner, and it's a 1-point ball game, 59-58. And then we'll get a full Augustana timeout. Been a solid run here by North Park as they've gotten right back into this one, 59-58 with 5:05 to go.
Chris, Augie in the second half, 4 of 18 from the field, 22%. 0 of 8 from three-point range, and 8 of 14 from the free throw line. And it's you hate to beat that drum, but it seems like every time out.
Yeah.
Every time you take the floor here at home, it's the same story. Now the Carroll game was a little bit different. We fell behind in that one and came back and pulled it out in overtime. But we've just seen this play out so many times this year, and for whatever reason, especially at home.
And North Park 8 of 17 in the second half for 47%, 2 of 4 behind the arc. And they've hit 7 of 9 free throws.
Well, and early in the half, Augie was doing a great job defensively, and that's how they were maintaining that lead despite struggling so badly offensively. But since North Park's got it going on, and Powell's hit a couple three-pointers. They've got to the free throw line and made their free throws, and had a couple second chance opportunities that they've converted. So, obviously as the half has gone on, North Park's gotten a lot of things going, and Augie has not.
.117 to go down. I believe that's at Illinois Wesleyan, and they lead Carroll 69-68. So the Vikings with the ball here, 5:05 to play, 19 on the shot clock. See what Coach Delp has as the out of timeout play. Canoes forced way out, 8 on the shot clock. Hamilton now in the low post. Get to that jump hook. Nope, he'll draw the foul on Barry. So good job by Mike Hamilton to get to the bucket there. And some big free throws coming up here for Hamilton.
Mike now 0 for 3 from the line tonight, all of those in the second half. Both the Vikings bigs, Hamilton and Marici, now playing with 4 fouls, by the way.
Hamilton makes the second, so it's a 2-point ball game, 60-58 now. See if Augie can get some stops here. Slide it inside, shot up and good by Barry.
Nice job there by Evan Ambrose.
Not to foul.
Not to give him 3.
And now the ball tipped away, saved. Powell's got it. North Park can take the lead. Nelson back to Powell, loads the 3, no good. Rebound tipped around, and the Vikings have it. Tied at 60 now with 4:08 to play. Ambrose gets in deep, bounce pass back out to Romero. Around the horn, and Hamilton ends up with it in the low post. And we're going to get a hand check on Devontae Robinson, and Evan Ambrose will head to the free throw line for the Vikings. Hamilton with 4 fouls, Marici with 4 fouls for the Vikings. 3 fouls for Wallace, Gardner, Nelson, and Bax, and Barry on the North Park side of the ledger. Second one also good by Evan Ambrose.
13 for Ambrose tonight. Hasn't had a great shooting night, but has knocked down 6 of 6 from the free throw line.
(62-60) Augie with the lead. They have led by as many as 14 in the second half. Gardner to Nelson. Now gets it back. And backs it out near half court. Cut to Nelson. Did a good job of saving the ball. Might have been I think he got away with a
he put
double dribble there as the ball was on his hip.
Yeah, he put the ball on his hip, Chris. And the official is kind of shielded from the officials, and they didn't see it and called the foul. Got Chase Larson for his first.
Coach Delp pleading the case over there. You're not going to win that, but I believe he is right.
Yeah, Chris, basically the bottom line is if they can't see it, they can't see it.
Yeah.
We could see it where we are at, and apparently none of the officials could see it from where they were at.
I mean, I think from a coaching standpoint, you're working for the next call there.
Sure, absolutely.
Not that one.
But that never works, Chris.
Oh, yeah, it does.
No, I know I was being sarcastic. If my sarcasm is getting too subtle for you, Chris, we're in trouble.
Tied at 62 now, as Arno will check back into the ball game. And some significant pressure here. Romero will work up the floor on Nelson. All the way to the bucket, and Romero scores. Danny Romero gets into double figures. Augie back to a 2-point lead, 64-62. Just over 3 minutes to play.
And again, Chris, the best Augie offense is when they can attack that pressure.
Yeah. Good block there. Ambrose going to slow it down here, make sure Augie gets a decent shot. Now the North Park traps.
Yeah, but when they slow it down is when they don't get decent shots.
Ambrose in a lot of traffic there. Wow, tough shot as he throws it up with the left hand and got it to go. Not many tougher shots than that. 4-point Augie lead, 2.5 to go.
And I believe with the offhand, Chris, I think that was with his left hand.
Yeah. Long three, no good. Ball bounces into the hands of Romero. Romero on the push, stops, gets to the bucket, through the lane, kicks out on top to Ambrose.
Like to see
Evan
Danny
takes a quick look
get
at the
that one
clock.
up on the board.
Seven on the clock. Ambrose puts up the three and drills it. Ambrose now with 18 on the night. Augie up to a 7-point lead. Barry drives the lane. He'll draw the foul. I believe that'll be the 5th on Hamilton.
Yeah, good hard take there by Barry. Went right at Mikey, and when you're aggressive going to the basket, you're going to get that call. So Mike finishes the night with 7 points and 6 rebounds, steal and a block in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Very little hard on the first free throw.
Had a nice night tonight, 11 points and 5 rebounds off the North Park bench in 21 minutes.
DJ Wallace checks back into the ball game for North Park. 69-63, 145 to play. Romero into the corner to Ambrose. They'll let the backcourt clear out. Across the timeline, and now sets the Augie offense. Marici up high. Back to Ambrose on the far side wing. Evan going to get in the lane, reverse, in trouble, and a lot of traffic. Kicks back out to Canoe. 5 on the shot clock. Tyler with the triple pump. Up off the glass and got it to go. Tough shot there by Tyler Canoe. 71-63 Augie with 1:11 to go. Backdoor cut. Powell can't finish. Tip, no good. Rebound down to Cooper. 2 good looks there for the leading scorer for North Park, and he couldn't get either to go. And now a timeout called by Augustana.
And a good job by Ray Marici to not pick up his 5th foul there.
Who made the last basket down here?
Knuth.
Knuth, yep. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he kind of forced the bank shot there.
Yeah, well, we've seen Tyler make tough shots like that.
Yep.
And a lot of times when he makes those tough shots, they're on threes, which is more amazing. But yeah, that gives Tyler 17 points tonight. How about Danny Romero with the double-double in his first start of the year, Chris?
Yes.
And to go 10 points, 10 rebounds to go along with six assists.
That's impressive. And one turnover.
And one turnover against some pretty tough North Park pressure, absolutely. Ambrose actually leads the Vikings now in scoring as he's ridden that little hot streak late with 18 points. Knuth with 17, Romero with 10 to lead Augustana. 3 North Park players in double figures as well. Rico Powell with 17, 12 for Barry, and 10 for Gardner.
All right, 56.1 to play. The Vikings lead North Park 71-63. Augie led by 14 in the second half in a tremendous run by North Park.
Now we're going to foul before the inbounds. I guess if you're North Park, you look at that. At least they didn't have any time coming off the clock. But I'm sure Coach McGee would like to see his defense have an opportunity to turn that ball over in the backcourt before having to foul.
Looks like they fouled Sean Kelly there. He's going to go to the line. That was a joke. That was a joke, Dan, because we were joking about Sean. You didn't even laugh.
I didn't know what the heck you were talking about. Scuttlebutt we heard pregame is that Sean might be back against North Central, and that will be a good thing because the Vikings certainly need his defensive presence. Although I think they've got a very solid minutes out of Dom Roden tonight in his place.
I mean, I think
not to mention how well Danny Romero has played tonight.
I think the Augie philosophy has always been the next man up. It's an opportunity to gain minutes for yourself. And certainly Romero and Roden have not hurt themselves with their performance tonight. 10-point Augie lead, a run to the bucket by Gardner.
I'm going to say that Marici blocked it out of bounds, so North Park will be inbounding under the Augustana basket.
Dan, they are in overtime at Illinois Wesleyan.
They're struggling with Carroll at home?
Yeah, actually Carroll's leading 76-75 with 2:14 to go. Gardner with the running left hand, no good. Knuth takes it, and now, it's going to be a free throw shooting contest.
Well, after an awful start from the line in the second half, Augie has rebounded and are now 13 of 20 from the line in the second half and 20 of 28 for the game.
Got the right guy at the free throw line?
I would say so, Chris. Tyler now with 18 tonight.
(75-63), Augie by 12 with 36 seconds to play. Gardner going to take the long three, bangs it home. North Park not done yet. Quick timeout. 9-point Augustana lead. This is a full North Park timeout. Vikings have done some damage at the free throw line here in the second half. Dan, 15 of 22, just 1 of 9 behind the arc, and overall from the field, just 36%. North Park's outscored Augie 33-32 in the second half. Yeah, North Park just 3 of 7 from behind the arc in the second half.
Clearly, the key for Augie at the offensive end has been able to get to the free throw line. Early in the half, they couldn't make them, but late in the half, they've been pretty solid, knocking them down. Mostly Evan Ambrose and Tyler Knuth a minute ago.
Quick timeout there called by the Vikings as Larson used that 5 count in his head. .125 to go in Bloomington. Normal Illinois Wesleyan leads Carroll 77-76. Again, if you joined us late, 3 teams tied atop the league. The only 3 teams with winning records, and that's Illinois Wesleyan, who's in this overtime contest we just mentioned. These North Park Vikings here trailing Augustana 75-66 with 33 seconds to play. And Carthage kind of having the advantage of sitting at home tonight and taking this in. They could potentially be in sole possession of first place. We'll see what happens in these 2 ball games. Again, though, Augie home on Saturday night against North Central. And again, now we've talked about it a little bit in the pregame. The important part as you get deep into the second half is find a way to get in to be one of those top 6 teams to get into the conference tournament, and hope you can make some noise or surprise somebody. And the Vikings sitting right now in that 6th position, and we'll get a quick foul there as the Vikings got it in bounds, and Arnaud with the foul.
So Evan Ambrose is going to get to shoot some more free throws. Well, obviously, Chris, if the Vikings can hang on here tonight, this would be a huge win. This would be, I would say, their signature win of the year to this point.
Absolutely.
And it would be huge. Obviously, stealing one against one of the top teams is obviously going to be beneficial as you jockey for position to get in the conference tournament. As we said, the next 4 games are against the teams that you're battling for those remaining spots. So a real key stretch coming up here tonight, or coming up here after tonight.
Evan missed both, and Powell's going to rush it up the floor, gives it to Nelson, got it into Powell, don't foul him, and he scores quickly. 75-66 now with 23.9.
68.
68, oh yeah.
Nothing comes easy, does it, Chris? You think you got your free throw line woes figured out, and you got a kid at the line that's 8 of 10 or 8 of 8 at heading to the line, and he misses both of them.
I got to believe when Jordan combs his hair in the morning, there's going to be a little bit less of it. All right, 23.9 to play, 75-68, Augustana with the lead. Both teams in the double bonus. And Cooper's going to be fouled from behind by DJ Wallace. Dan, I hate to do this, but I think it's just human nature. When you look back at some of the games that the Vikings were in that they could have won.
Oh, absolutely.
You think about.
I would say the two losses that sting the most right now, as Cooper knocks in the first free throw, that come to me off the top of my head would be up at North Central. It was a game that you clearly had a chance to win, and then even bigger, the loss at Milliken here at home.
Absolutely.
Because again, 2 teams that you're going to be battling for the, jockeying with to get that CCIW tournament bid.
Anthony Cooper knocks in the free throw, 77-68 with 20.6 to go. Gardner now hard rush with the left hand, no foul. Yep, count that one. 77-70, 15.4 to go. Into Roden, and he'll be fouled by Powell.
Down 3 of 4 from the free throw line tonight.
Looks like Illinois Wesleyan's going to hold on in overtime. 8 seconds left. They are up 79-78. Clock runs at 10 seconds. Good job by making Powell earn every dribble there. A turnover, and that's turnover number 17. And hey, the Augustana Vikings get a very nice home win, as Dan says, probably the signature win of the season so far, as they knock off league-leading 8-1 North Park, 78-70. Was that Pat Ambrose?
That was Pat Ambrose.
Pat Ambrose apologizing for, he stood up here in the mezzanine level.
I didn't hear what he said.
He was doing a lot of coaching. He said, I apologize if you could hear what I was saying.
No, that's no problem.
No. So a great win for the Vikings. And again, you're taking care of business at home. Things set up pretty well for the Vikings now. Again, I believe 6 games left, and 5 of those against teams with a losing record. 4 of those are at home. I guarantee you Jordan's going to say we're going to take one at a time and talk about them.
Of course.
But this absolutely creates some momentum for this Augustana team.
Yeah, like I said, this is definitely, I would say, the Vikings' signature win this year. You're looking for those all the time, but against a North Park team that came in 8-1 in the league, that's a very impressive win. And I think you have to be happy with how resilient the guys were when things weren't going well in the second half, because you could see, the same scenario playing out that we've seen so many times this year, but they got a couple big plays. Danny Romero, I can't talk enough about how well he played tonight, and Evan Ambrose down the stretch.
Let's give Coach Delp my headset tonight, Dan.
Okay.
We are joined now by head coach Jordan Delp. Coach Delp, congratulations. I would say Dan termed this probably the signature win so far of the season. League leading team coming in 8-1, taking care of business. I think the difference is we've seen this Augustana team in the past when things didn't go the way in the second half. Felt totally different tonight. Guys, we're confident we got things taken care of.
Anytime you play these guys, especially with the way Coach wants them to play, it's going to be a game of runs. There's going to be some times where they're going to get after us and they're going to turn us over. We had 3 straight in the first half there. We had a few in a row in the second half. Let them get back into it. All right, we knew that was coming. We talked, our biggest message before the game was ignore the score, stay together, keep coming, and keep fighting. Right? Because we knew they're damn good, like you said, right? And the way they play especially was going to create those runs. And, it goes 62-62, and we go on a 10 run to finish, or 8 run, to finish the game. And just super proud of the way that our guys battled all night long defensively and rebounding the ball especially, right? Our offense, 78's a hell of a thing. We got to keep making sure that we clean some things up and don't get too stagnant, but just so proud of the resilience we showed. And after, a 3-game stretch where, we took some lumps last Wednesday, right? Man, we had we gave ourselves a shot, and we're in a very similar game, right, on Saturday, and couldn't quite get that one done. And, here we are with the 3rd straight team we played in first place in our league, and to our guys' credit, they stuck together and kept coming like we talked about.
Dan mentioned several times, and I thought it was a good point. We felt like we scored easier tonight in transition versus in the half court, which is interesting against a team that pressures that we did a really good job of, once we beat that pressure, to kind of get the ball to the basket and penalize them.
Yeah, I would say it was night and day from in there, right?
Yeah.
Like we didn't handle that pressure quite as well in there, and I thought certainly, again, aside from kind of that one little stretch, man, we really took care of business and handled their pressure better. Not perfect, not great. We knew we weren't going to do that, but much better than we had. And we talked about how if we handle it strong, there's going to be layup opportunities, right? Because they gamble and they're aggressive and they're trying, right? And we knew they didn't want to play defense a long time either. So I think it was actually a really good mix of early and scoring when we had an advantage, but also recognizing when we didn't and not playing too fast. Coach Lamont likes to talk how we need to be quick but not in a hurry.
Right.
And I thought we were a little hurried that first time. We did a much better job playing at our pace tonight.
2 quick questions for you, and then we'll jump on with Mike Hamilton here. Talk about Danny Romero. Got his first start tonight. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal and a block, and 1 turnover in 29 minutes.
It's huge, right? And Danny, I'm just so proud of the resilience he's shown, right?
Yeah.
He started a vast majority of our games last year and, kind of wasn't in the rotation to start the year and just kept doing everything we were asking him to do, kept practicing his tail off, kept coming every single day and has earned these opportunities, right? And with Sean out, we felt like we needed that secondary ball handler out there on the court. And to Danny's credit, man, he just makes the right play over and over and over again, right?
Yep.
And I get on him a little bit about going off 1 foot here and there, but other than that, shoot, he just does everything we ask him to do to the best of his ability. And he's just such a great ball mover, right? He had, 6 assists tonight, 1 turnover. I mean, that's just huge in this game. Huge.
Yep. All right. I know this is a question I always ask, and I know what your answer is, but I'm going to ask it anyway. 6 games left, 4 at home, 5 against teams with losing records. Illinois Wesleyan's the only team with a winning record. The conference tournament's coming up. You guys are sitting in 6th place right now. Top 6 teams get in. I know the focus is on the next game, but I think you have to like how things set up for the program right now.
Yeah, but, like in the CCIW, we know you can't worry about what those records are. You could have said the same thing about us tonight, right?
That's
we
fair.
have a losing record right now, and 8-1 teams coming in, and we were able to get a win. It was hard as heck, but we were able to get a win. So, the records, you just throw them out in conference play because it just doesn't matter. Now, are we excited to be able to be home a little bit more? Sure.
Yep.
Absolutely, right? But,
awesome.
It doesn't really matter. You're right. All that matters is that we come ready to work tomorrow, right? We got a hell of a win. We're going to go celebrate the heck out of it down there. Okay, we got some beer nuts here, I guess, that we're going to chomp on.
Hey, those are Illinois Wesleyan beer nuts.
Get rid of those.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we've got a tough challenge in here on Saturday to a team that beat us the first time we played them.
Well,
that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, congratulations. This is definitely a big win and a step forward for the program in that we played a complete second half. Could have folded the tent. We didn't do that. So congratulations, Coach. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
We're going to jump. Yep, we're going to jump on now. Joining us now is Mike Hamilton. Mike, congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
Know you've worked hard. 7 points tonight, 3 of 5 from the field, just 1 of 4 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, a steal, a block in 20 minutes.
Plus 29.
What's
29, Chris. When he was on the floor, we won by 29 points.
All right, if you can hear Coach Stelp back there, he's giving me the plus-minus with Mike. The Vikings were a plus 29 when Mike was on the floor. That is significant. Talk about the challenge. 2 tough games in a row. We lose to Illinois Wesleyan by 30. In the game at Carthage, you lose. Now you've got the third team, who's a league leader, coming into home tonight. What was the overall psyche of the guys on the team?
After the Carthage game, it was a tough loss, but there was something different about today. We weren't hanging our heads. We didn't hang our heads all week. We knew North Park was probably better than they've been in 4 years. I mean, they're scrappy, but they're playing together. And I was going to dive into the details and all the numbers, but, I mean, it came down to grit. We preach grit, and that's how we closed out the game. We let them get back in to 62-62, or 64-64. That didn't matter. Nobody hung their heads. Nobody gave up. And we just kept fighting. And,
Talk about playing against DJ Wallace. He's kind of their big guy. You guys spent a lot of time hanging out with each other tonight. He was held to 3 points. I thought you did a really nice job on him.
Yeah, it's a CCIW. I mean, I'm playing the 5 spot. I'm a little undersized compared to most guys.
Yep.
He was 6'8", 6'6", but, I mean, it's going back to grit. I mean, as long as everybody hit him consistently, we preach a geology game. We have it a little difference, pressure over time. As long as we hit those guys for the full 40 minutes, I mean, the ceiling is as high as we want it to be.
Let's talk real quickly. North Central comes in on Saturday night. Tough loss up there. Thoughts on your mindset on what needs to be done to get a W at home against North Central?
Yeah, defending our home court.
Yep.
That's what the bottom line is. We pride ourselves on our home court, and we've battled the past 3 years, but this is our year. We've got a good record. We've got a lot of momentum. Getting tough loss at Wesleyan, close loss at Carthage, great win here.
Yep.
I mean, we have so much momentum going right now that as long as we shut down their knowns and we don't let their unknown guys, little ice on the sheet, win and be effective during the game, I don't see us losing.
All I ask is on Saturday, if you get close to the North Central bench, could you throw an elbow at Alex Washington for us? We love Alex.
I will.
Good
rivalry there. Good rivalry.
Absolutely. Hey, Mike, congratulations on a great victory tonight. Again, we talked about Coach Delp. You guys have a great opportunity here with the 6 games left, 4 of them at home. Going to be an interesting end of the season. So
it'll be good as long as I don't fall out anymore.
Yeah, well, that happens. It happens. We appreciate your time. Go enjoy it with the team, and we'll see you again on Saturday night.
Thank you.
That's Mike Hamilton, a plus 29 tonight as Coach Delp fondly reminded us. Dan, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think you summed it up pretty good. We could run down on some numbers if you're interested. Rico Powell led North Park with 19, 15 points for TJ Gardner, 12 points for Tajon Berry. Rounding out their scoring, 6 for Bax, 6 for Bates, 4 for Arnaud, 3 for DJ Wallace, 2 for Nelson, 3 for Dante Robinson. Now that's a number defensively I think you got to look at for the Vikings. Robinson is their
third
best,
leading scorer.
Third leading scorer. Yeah. Actually, he's their second leading scorer on the season, and the Vikings held him 3 points and just 1 3-pointer, and that I think was his first attempt of the night. But North Park finished 25 of 60 for 42% from the field. They were 5 of 17 for 29% from three-point range, 15 of 19 from the free throw line for 79%. Swinging over to the Viking side, they were led by Evan Ambrose, who had 20 points. A lot of key free throws in the second half. Big three-pointer that helped the Vikings, I think, go from up 4 to up 7 in their nice run there that they had late. He finished with 20, 19 points for Tyler Knuth tonight. We mentioned Danny Romero, but you can't emphasize that enough. Kid that gets his first start of the year tonight. Had only played, I think, 77 minutes all year coming in. Had 10 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, a block, and 1 turnover in 29 minutes. So great job by Danny Romero tonight. Mike Hamilton, who you just got done talking to, 7 points and 6 rebounds. Matt Hawkins also had 7 points tonight. 5 points for Anthony Cooper to go along with a game-high 4 steals for Anthony. Rounding out the Vikings scoring, 4 points for Dom Roden, 4 points for Ray Marici, and 2 points for Chase Larson to round out the Vikings total of 78. Augie finished the night 23 of 48 from the field for 48%. 7 of 18 from three-point range for 39%, and 25 of 36 from the free throw line for 69% from the line. Augie had a 35-21 edge on the boards. The home Vikings turned it over 18 times to North Park's 17.
Yep. Proud of the Vikings tonight. We've talked so many times before where we played a great first half and then things went awry in the second half. Different story for Augustana tonight. They come out with a 78-70 victory and hang in there in terms of getting into the conference. Illinois Wesleyan did win, so Illinois Wesleyan and Carthage are now tied at the top. North Park falls into third place, but the Vikings have a win against the third place team.
Well, and in theory, Chris, the Illinois Wesleyan's win over Carroll
is going to
helps the Vikings
too.
Because Carroll, you kind of figure, is going to be one of those teams that's in that. They're 2 games behind Augie now, but you figure they're going to be one of those teams in the mix there.
Yep. So things get really interesting now with 6 games to go, and the next opportunity to see the Vikings will be Saturday night 7:15 here at the Carver Center as they welcome in the North Central Cardinals. That'll wrap it up for Dan and I tonight. Again, big win for Augustana at home as they knock off the North Park Vikings 78-70.